Good evening, fellow Gaborone Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters, and esteemed guests. Welcome to our last meeting of the month. Tonight, we gather under a theme, planting seeds. Would you believe me if I said every great achievement, every success story, and indeed every transformation began with a single seed? That is just a small action, a bold idea, or a simple decision to start or begin. Just like a farmer would sow seeds with faith that they will grow, we too must plant the seeds of growth, perseverance, and learning in both our personal and professional lives. Here at Toastmasters, every speech delivered, every evaluation received, and every role taken is a seed planted to future confidence, leadership, and excellence. Although the results may not be immediate, with consistency and patience, we will see the harvest of our actions. So tonight, let's be intentional about the seeds we plant, because what we nurture today will indeed shape the success of tomorrow. Let's get started. As usual, we have a master of ceremonies, Mutsamaisa Tiro, or what we at Toastmasters have coined the Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day is Toastmaster Lamem Tetra. Lamem Tetra is currently serving as our Vice President of Public Relations, but she's not just that. She's also the current Division C Director. What's Division C, you might ask? Well, the way Toastmasters is set up is that the world is divided into districts, which in turn are divided into divisions. Division C is the area that includes Cape Town. So yes, here at Gaborone Toastmasters, we have a member who is the overall leader of that division in Cape Town. She's enthusiastic about personal development and empowerment. Tonight, she will take the reins of our program and lead and make sure that we go through all that we have planned together. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Toastmaster Lamim Tetra.
A round of applause for our president. Thank you, Madam President, for that introduction. Let me also take this time and opportunity to greet you, my fellow Toastmasters and my esteemed guests from other clubs, those that are visiting from other clubs. And if this is your first meeting to attend, let me say you're welcome. As Madam President has already alluded, I will be your MC, Master of Ceremony, or your program director, which I believe will be shared very shortly in the chat box. SAA, have we already shared our, yes, our agenda has been shared in the chat box. You are free to access it. So I will be the director of today's program. Today's meeting, ladies and gentlemen, is tagged planting seeds. And the burning question is, what kind of seeds are you planting in terms of your personal development? And this evening, we have men and women who have put their hand up to say, I also want to be a planter. I also want to be a sower. I want to sow something positive into my personal development. Our meeting is structured in 3 segments. We're going to have what we call the prepared speakers segment. Then we'll have the table topic segment. Then we will have the better listening segment, which is the evaluation segment. And you'll be glad to know that I'm not the only one driving today's set. I have a team of people because in Toastmasters, we believe in team building. We believe in collaboration. I have another team that will be assisting me in running today's program. And these are different members who have taken up roles to also enhance their public speaking. I'll be inviting them to the virtual stage. They will introduce themselves, they will introduce their roles, and I will ask them to share why they decided to choose that role this evening. Starting, I'll be calling on our Hackmaster. Our Hackmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Hack is an old-fashioned word for Listen Up. So the main purpose of my role as the Hack Master tonight is to encourage effective listening during the meeting. Therefore, I'll compile questions and run a quiz session towards the end based on the speeches presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Hackmaster Tepo. So Tepo will be our Hackmaster. So she is our listening police for this evening. She's paying attention, and later she'll come back to the virtual stage to check if indeed we were paying attention and we were listening. Then I'll be calling onto the virtual stage our grammarian and our counter. Grammarian.
Good evening, Toastmasters. As the grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language use. I'll take note of any misuse of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As the grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is flourish, which means to be successful, to prosper, to grow luxuriantly, or thrive in growth as a plant. For an example, creativity flourishes as new ideas blossom in the spaciousness of stillness. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tepo. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The word of the day today is flourish. So be encouraged to incorporate that in your speeches or in your table topics. Then I'll be inviting our R and counter. Toastmaster Herbert is he on the call? Zoom Master, is Toastmaster Herbert on the call?
I don't see him on the call.
Okay. We will move right along to our timekeeper while we still find our R and counter. Timekeeper.
I just got a message from the timekeeper. He's saying he's struggling with the timing. So I will step in for now and assist. So let me just spotlight all right. So as the timekeeper, the role is to keep time of what's happening in the meeting in terms of the speakers, the evaluators, and the table topics. So for the speakers, all the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. So when a speaker reaches the minimum time, I'll display the green. When they reach the minimum time being 5 minutes, when they reach 6 minutes, I'll display the yellow. When they reach the maximum time, which is 7 minutes, I'll display the red. And then for table topics, which is 1 to 2 minutes, at 1 minute, I'll show green, 1 minute 30, yellow, and at 2 minutes, I'll show red. And then for evaluators, which is a 3-minute speech, at 2 minutes, I'll show green, 2 minutes 30, yellow, and at the maximum time, 3 minutes, I'll show red. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Leah, for stepping in to assist our timekeeper. And if you are a guest here, you might be wondering why this timekeeping business. In Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. Our speakers have been allocated times in which they're expected to speak on. So they need to make sure that they utilize that time effectively. I won't be calling on to the table topics. She will later come in and she will explain her role and what table topics is all about. Moving right along with our program, I would like to ask our grammarian if she's able to combine her roles to be the grammarian and both the R and counter. Tepo?
Yes, Lami, you can do that.
Are you okay? Thank you very, very much. The R and counter role is meant to keep track of filler words like so, and you know, and those funny sounds that we make with our tongues when we are anxious, like you know, when you keep doing that because you are anxious. So as our R&M counter, she'll be keeping note of that. She will later come back to the virtual stage to also give a report on how we did with our R&M counter. Now we are getting into that interesting segment, which is the prepared speakers. And this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we have 7 speakers. A round of applause for them. Just to help them ease their nerves, we have 7 speakers this evening. And first one on the list is Boipelo Tube. And in the interest of time, I won't be inviting her evaluator to the virtual stage to share the speech objectives. I believe our speaker, Boipelo, is aware of the speech objectives. Boipelo is doing her project title, Write a Speech with a Purpose. So Boipelo is expected to write a speech with a purpose, and she has chosen to title her speech Back to School. Time allocated for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the virtual stage Boipelo Tube, Back to School, Boipelo Tube.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. So a few months ago, I found myself back in a classroom. I was seated behind a desk facing a whiteboard, which I last did 10 years ago. And returning to school has proven to be both exciting and overwhelming. And tonight, I just wanted to share my journey with the Toastmaster community and offer some tips that I have found helpful in my transition of going back to school whilst being fully employed. And hopefully these tips will be useful to someone here who also aims to flourish in their academic journey. First tip that I'd like to share is you need to be intentional about planning your schedule wisely. Already, most of us struggle with balancing work and life. So imagine now adding another aspect of school in the mix. It's a whole juggle that many struggle to deal with. So the key is intentional planning. You need to be intentional about planting these seeds and be intentional about caring for that goal and seeing it flourish in the allocated timeline that you've set for yourself. So you have to be committed to blocking out dedicated study periods and sticking to them. This usually involves creating a study-friendly routine, which can mean finding a quiet, comfortable place that you've set out and you know this. When I'm seated here, it means business, no other distractions, no work emails, no any kind of distractions, honestly speaking. And you have to be able to set realistic weekly goals and hold yourself accountable to make sure that every week you are continuously making progress. Secondly, you need to have the conversation with your employer. If you're studying whilst working, your employer or line manager's support is crucial. You need to have an open discussion about your academic commitments. And if possible, if your organization allows, you need to explore flexible working arrangements, especially around exams and assignment submission deadlines. However, it is very important for all of us to know that flexibility is a two-way street. You need to continue to giving your best at work. You can't expect your employer to make that allowance for you to accommodate study whilst you slack in your work deliverables. Thirdly, you need to be open to leveraging on technology and resources that we now have. I was shocked to discover how many student-friendly apps that we have today. Honestly, those would have made my undergrad studies much bearable. For instance, we now have apps like RefWorks. This makes referencing very friendly, very effortless. Gone are the days where you had to sit next to when you had to sit with a pen and paper jotting down references from journals that you read, you have something that automatically does that for you. That saves a lot of time. We have Quillbot, which helps with paraphrasing, summarizing. It even checks AI. Imagine an AI tool checking for AI and helping you to humanize AI work. And of course, common tools like ChatGPT, which are usually useful for structuring ideas and research. But before you use any of these tools, one has to check with the university policies on academic integrity to ensure that you comply with their policies. You don't want to find yourself being in the wrong by using something that's not allowed. Fourth point that I'd like to share with the Toastmaster community is you need to maintain a work-life school balance. Balancing multiple responsibilities can feel like a never-ending juggling act. And one of my favorite quotes says, life is everything happening all at once. So you need to find a way where you are taken care of all-roundedly to prevent burnout, which is something that most of us struggle with. You need to prioritize self-care. That includes sleep. Yes, if you are a planner like me and you like to have everything on a schedule, rest has to be part of the to-do list. So sleep, exercise is very essential. And again, don't be afraid to say no. Be able to say no to commitments that don't align with your schedule or that you don't consider important when juggling the things that you have to do. And where possible, delegate tasks, be at work or at home. Most of us are fortunate to have helpers at home. So as much as you need to have that conversation with your employer for that support, you might have to have the conversation with your helper at home to say, ma'am, I'm going to need you to assist me until I finish this journey. Lastly, it's important to stay motivated and seek support where possible. Always remind yourself of why you started this journey. This will help you to keep your goals visible and help cover out any distractions that you might have. Also lean on friends, family, or classmates for encouragement. Being part of a study group was a game changer for me. It helped me to stay on track, and our meetings weekly help me to make progress on my studies and not be left behind. In conclusion, I will be honest with everyone here. Managing school, work, and life is challenging, but it's very doable. And as the famous saying goes, the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. So it's a journey that needs you to be committed to making it happening with your eyes set on the goals that you will be heavily rewarded. I thank you all.
Round of applause for Bipela. Thank you very much, Bipela, for that speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been just made aware that our second speaker, Tapiwa, is not available. So that leaves us with some bit of time to allow the evaluators to share with us the speech objectives of their evaluations. Next on the virtual stage, we'll be having Lillian, and I'll be calling her evaluator, Tepo, to share with us Lillian's speech objectives. Tepo, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Lani. I will be evaluating Lillian's speech, which is to write a speech with a purpose. I will be looking for the following in Lillian's speech, which is for her to present a well-organized and well-delivered speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, in any style that she chooses. I'm looking forward to evaluating your speech, Lillian. All the best.
Thank you, Tepo. Lillian is pursuing the same project that our first speaker is pursuing. So their speech have the same objectives. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the virtual stage, Lillian. Lillian's speech is titled The Power of a Spoken Word. The Power of a Spoken Word, Lillian.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Lillian.
All right, thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As introduced, I am Lillian Nompumelelo Andres, and today I'm going to speak to all of us, myself included, about the power of a spoken word. The power of a spoken word. So this refers to the idea that the words we speak have a significant impact on our thoughts, emotions, and environments. The words we speak can shape our realities and influence the outcome of our life's events. So speaking of the outcome of our life's events, I'm going to share a story that dates way back to the 1990s of an actor called Jim Carrey. So Jim Carrey had a big and massive goal and a dream to earn 10 million US dollars for an acting role and become a successful actor. And he had yet faced years of rejection and worked odd jobs just to make ends meet. So he decided to commit to daily affirmations and the visualization of the 10 million US dollar check he wrote for himself. So at that moment or at that time, nothing about his life confirmed or affirmed the possibility of his dreams. But the exercise of daily affirmations elevated his mindset and his sense of self-belief. And eventually he got an acting role that paid him exactly 10 million US dollars, and he became a successful actor. A very relatable story. For most of us, if not all of us, Jerry's shoe is a perfect fit. Relatable in the sense that we all have big dreams, aspirations, great potential and destinies, but life's challenges and circumstances, childhood and adulthood traumas have choked us that it's almost impossible. But there's a principle that dates way back before the foundations of the earth, the power of a spoken word. And it has been proven to be efficient over time. The Bible in the book of Genesis and John chapter 1 mentions that in the beginning was the Word, and that all things were created through the Word. When God said, and there it was, or it became. But you are probably sitting there wondering, if I affirmed yesterday that I'm a billionaire, where are the billions? Good question. So it's a question of what influences or what governs the manifestation of the power of a spoken word, or what influences the results of daily affirmations. So amongst many other factors, we are going to look at two factors today: the power of repetition and the power of faith. So with the power of repetition, neuroplasticity states that the brain has the ability to reorganize itself and create new neural connections in response to thoughts, experiences, and behaviors. This is to say, if we repeatedly speak positive words, our brains reorganize and refocus on positivity. That eventually we start attracting positivity and we walk in the path of fulfillment and we eventually flourish. So it's a fact of consistency. So when we are consistent and we repeatedly speak positivity, these words come to manifestation. And then comes in the factor of faith. When we are consistent, of repetition of words, we have to be expectant and believe. Expectancy and belief play a crucial role in ensuring that what we speak comes to pass. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, or summarizing, the benefits of speaking positivity includes an improved mental and emotional being. It builds resilience in life. It improves relationships and an attraction of positivity and success. As I close, the Bible says the power of life and death is in the tongue. So when we speak negative words, we are killing, we are destroying ambitions and dreams. But when we speak positive word, or when we speak a positive word, you are bringing to life, you are resurrecting dreams and flourishing of our aspirations. So in the remaining second or so, I would like all of us to make the following affirmations or declarations, hoping that from today going forward, we are going to practice consistency and build a habit of speaking positivity upon ourselves, those around us, and the environments we find ourselves in. So let us all say, I am greatness.
I am
I am
greatness.
greatness.
With intentionality, I am greatness.
I
I
am
am greatness.
I live a life of success.
I
I
live a
live
life
a
of
life
Live
of
a
success.
life of success.
My existence on earth
my
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 existence on
existence on earth
plays a significant role
place
Plays
plays
a
a
plays a
significant
significant
role
role
to making the world a better place.
to
in
in
make
making
the
the world
world
making
a
the
better
world a
place.
better
Thank you
place.
so much. Let us give ourselves a round of applause. Thank you.
Don't you just love Toastmasters? Thank you very much, Lillian. And count me in that group of 10 million. You said he did what? He wrote 10 million on a check. So count me in. I'll do that definitely after this meeting. A round of applause again for Lillian. And if you may, Lillian, please post those words in the chat box so that those who didn't get a chance to reaffirm those words will be able to do that. And also to say to our esteemed guests, you are welcome to use the chat box to encourage our speakers. You are also welcome to show those emojis, especially when our speakers use the word of the day, which is flourish. We'll be moving on right along with our program with our third speaker. And he is a visiting Toastmasters. Another thing about Toastmasters. We are in Botswana. If you're from Zambia or Zimbabwe or South Africa, you are welcome to join our meetings. This evening, Tawanda will be evaluated by Dimelo, and I'll be inviting to the virtual stage Dimelo Mapalala, our esteemed president, to share Tawanda speech objectives.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Tonight, I have the pleasure of evaluating Tawanda Muvumbi, who will be on the Visionary Communication Pathway, Level 1, Project 4, which is evaluation and feedback. The objective of this project is that he practice applying feedback. Tonight, he'll be giving his second speech, meaning he gave a first speech, received feedback about it, and has worked very hard to apply the feedback to a second speech. So with that said, I'd like to invite to the virtual platform Toastmaster Tawanda Muvumbi with the speech titled, It's Not For You. It's Not For You, Tawanda Muvumbi.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the virtual stage. I know that your evaluator has already done that. She stole my show. Let me take you back. Help me welcome to the virtual stage, Tawanda. Tawanda with as his speech titled, It's Not For You. It's not for you, Tawanda.
The day everyone has been waiting for has finally arrived. It's the 16th of November 2014. I am the best man at my friend Tabo's wedding. Tabo is marrying the love of his life, Lorraine. All the groomsmen are dressed up and are ready. All the bridesmaids are dressed up and are ready. At 2 p.m., Lorraine steps through the chapel doors, and she looks stunning in an all-white dress. Tabo is wearing a gray suit with a light green tie. He really looks the part. Madam Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, imagine you were at this wedding with me. The minister who's wedding Tabo and Lorraine starts off by saying, "Dearest beloved, we're gathered here today to witness the union in holy matrimony of Lorraine and Tabo. But I want you to know, Lorraine, and you, Tabo, that this wedding is not for you." "I beg your pardon," I say to that minister. In my mind, oh, I can hear murmurs of disapproval and gasps of disbelief. We all don't understand what the minister is talking about. We're stunned. I take a concerned look at Lorraine. She looks as if she's saying, "Hey, minister, you're ruining my day. I've dreamt of this day from when I was a little girl. My parents are here, my siblings, my friends, they're all here. Please don't tell me that Tabo's wife and kids that I do not know about are about to enter the chapel doors. That'll make me cry and it'll ruin my makeup." I glance at Tabo. He's looking as if he's saying, "Hey, minister, you're ruining my day. I paid for this venue and for the food that all of you here are about to eat. You cannot tell me that this wedding is not for me. Being a minister is not for you, mister." Can you relate to how Tabo and Lorraine must have been feeling at that moment? I sure can. If I was told that something is not for me, it will bring feelings of embarrassment, shame, even hopelessness. The minister continues by saying, "Tabo, Lorraine, what does success look like for you? What is an achievement that you've always tried to attain?" Success could be the university degrees that you studied years to attain. Getting those degrees was not for you alone. No, it was for you to get the skills that you need, for you to be of value to the company that you work for, your work colleagues, your customers, and your family. A success could be getting into a leadership position at your workplace or in the community. Even that is not for you alone. No, it means that you are empowered to give a vision and motivation to the people that you lead. Another success could be getting married as you are doing today. Even that is not for you alone. So, Tabo, if Lorraine asks you to go shopping with her, on the very day that the Springboks, the rugby team of South Africa, are playing the All Blacks, the rugby team of New Zealand, the most important match that you've wanted to watch all year, go shopping with Lorraine. She will at least allow you to watch the highlights, right, Lorraine? Being in marriage means that you put the needs of your spouse above your own. The minister's words are hard to digest for me. I'm the only boy in a family with 3 sisters. Growing up, the focus was on me as the only boy. I live in a patriarchal society where the views of men dominate or have preference. I live in a world where success is measured by the possessions one has, how much money they earn, or their personal achievements. My life has always been about me, what I want to achieve. When I make plans for my wife and kids, or for my team at work, they're centered around me. It's a little wonder that those plans do not succeed. They should not be about me, but about we. As the minister concludes his speech, we see the sunshine streaming into the chapel. It's as if the sunshine is making what the minister has just said clear, all that have attended the wedding. I look at Thabo and Lorraine, and they're looking at each other as if to say, this minister is making this day the best day of our lives. What the minister shared is applicable not just to relationships, but also to leadership, and in addition, the marriage-ship. We were taught that success is not about what you can get or what you can give. It's been 10 years and Thabo and Lorraine are still happily married. They're living proof that if you live your life as if it's not for you, as if it's not about you, then what you value may truly become yours. Madam Toastmaster.
A round of applause for Tawanda.
Woo-woo.
And Tawanda, please pass this message to Thabo and Lorraine that as Gaborone Toastmasters, we wish them more and more happy years of marriage. And say hello
Thank
to
you.
them.
Thank you. They're flourishing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tawanda, for that awesome speech. We still have more speakers, and I believe you are taking notes down. You are learning so much. You're getting motivated. You're getting encouraged. And just right after this meeting, I believe you'll be the first one on the call to say, I want to be part of this amazing organization. And by the way, everyone is welcome to be part of this organization. I believe later our president will share more details on how you can become part of this amazing organization. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is Bipelo, and I'll be calling onto her virtual stage her evaluator, Toastmaster Palesa. Toastmaster Palesa, please share with my amazing audience Bipelo speech objectives. Toastmaster
Good
Palesa.
evening. Yes. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Lovely. Good evening, Toastmasters and our lovely guests. My name is Palesa Makato, and this evening I have the honor, the pleasure, and the privilege to evaluate Wipelo Mwalisi Omiat. Wipelo is on her presentation mastery pathway, level 2, project 1, which is communication styles. Her speech title is My Communication Style. And the objective of this project is for the member to learn about the different communication styles and identify her communication style. She will also have to let us know about the impact her communication style has on other people. So I look forward to hearing your speech this evening, Wipelo, and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palesa. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the virtual stage Bipelo Malusi with My Communication Style. My Communication Style, Bipelo Malusi.
rate and psychometric test can be. You learn about the different communication styles as well as my communication style. I had to go through a psychometric test. I have always found this test challenging and exhausting. I found it to be so irritating. But to my surprise, the results I received from the test were a true reflection of who I am and my communication style. Who would have thought that such an irritating test can be so accurate? I was intrigued. I studied 4 communication styles, being the direct one, supportive, initiating, analytical. And my highest score was for the analytical communication style. Some communication style, some traits of this communication style include being precise, oriented, being organized and self-reliant, as well as being purposeful. And guess what? I resonate with most of these communication traits or characteristics. I am a highly analytical person who pays very close attention to details. I normally see things that my colleagues will not pick. The small, tiny details that are normally overlooked. I will spot those, and I normally insist that we are focused on them for correct them. Sometimes we think, well, I would say so. I just like it to be order. I normally process things in my head first. You know, more like having a conversation with myself before putting it down, whereby I'll be critiquing ideas as they come in and out until I arrive at that idea that I believe will be the right one. And normally it is the right one. And while I do that, when I communicate with other people, I am very direct. I don't think I have observed that some of the people we interact with, instead of going south to look at it, they will go north to Franciscan. So by the time we get to Mahalapet, I'll be so confused. I get lost in the conversation. So I have learned through Toastmasters to be an active listener. I have learned to listen attentively, and if I get lost while we are still in Mahalapet, going to Francistown, and then through Francistown to the second, I'll then pause and ask the individual to either repeat themselves. I will reiterate what they said, just so that I ensure that I have understood them. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, through this journey of learning that communication style, I've also learned to embrace that we are different. Our communication is different. And for us to flourish in the work that we do, we need to accept, to embrace, and to acknowledge that our styles are different. The key is to learn that the people around you, the sense the mood in the room, and say, what styles are these I then bring myself to a level where I understand what I'm trying to do? Because I've realized that if one insists on their own communication style, you end up losing details or you end up being frustrated. Similarly, the people that I work with have mastered my communication style. And because of that, they are very direct when they speak to me, and they are then able to get to the answer. However, I also try to accommodate them. Having a different style from what your colleagues apply should not be a major problem. As long as you acknowledge that it is different, you then learn what their communication style is and adopt it in your communication. That way, as a team, we will plan together. And also, one of the key aspects that I have learned in this daily is that feedback always helps in that situation. Whereby, after every thing that you organization, I'll solicit feedback from my colleagues. Did I come across well? How was my communication? Was I understood? And they'll be candid with me. Remember, I'm a very direct person. So they have also led to be direct while taking to me. So tell me what I've done, what I've excelled at, what I need to improve on as well. And I do that to them. I also give that feedback to enable them to grow. So feedback is one of the things that we can encourage us as Toastmasters to employ, to be comfortable with receiving feedback, so that we can all grow as a team. When that's said, colleagues and Toastmasters, let us go out there and understand our communication style, and also let us embrace and accommodate the different communication styles. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bipela. Sitting right behind my laptop, I feel like I am in school. I am learning so much. I've already learned about different types of communication styles. I've learned about the power of spoken words, that is affirming yourself. Now we'll be moving on to
Madam Toastmaster of the day. Please let me know if I'm audible or visible. I'm using a different gadget today and I'm technologically challenged. Are you able to see me or hear me? Hello?
You are audible.
You are audible, but we're not able to see you, but you are audible.
Okay, all right. I'll change gadgets from here. But tonight, I'll have the privilege of evaluating one of our seasoned members, which is Leah Musunga, who will be giving us a speech titled Becoming DTM. And then the purpose for her speech is for the member to demonstrate his or her skills as a leader and as a public speaker. And also, this is a first speech for the member to introduce his or her plan and vision for her project. You can go ahead, Leah, back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tabile. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the virtual stage Leah Musunga with Becoming DTM. Becoming DTM, Leah Musunga.
There is a quote by Oprah Winfrey that says, every choice you make in life either moves you forward or keeps you stuck. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. Who here sometimes feels like they are stuck because of the choices that you have made. I know sometimes I feel stuck. And that is what happened when I joined Toastmasters. I felt I was stuck. I was struggling with being able to speak in front of a large crowd. So when I saw how people were so eloquent in Toastmasters, I knew this was a place for me to be able to work on my own public speaking skills. I'm sure you would all recall when you joined Toastmasters, just how excited you are. You get to meet so many people. Then all of a sudden, you start hearing all these acronyms, IPP, PQD, DTM, and you're wondering, what are all these three-letter words? IPP is Immediate Past President, PQD is Program Quality Director, and DTM is Distinguished Toastmasters. When I discovered what some of these acronyms were, and I heard about this DTM, I was curious and wondered what it was all about. I discovered that DTM, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award, is an award that is given for the highest level of achievement in Toastmasters. There are several things that you have to do for you to be able to be given that particular award. One, you have to be a Toastmaster. So if you're a Toastmaster, you're on the right track. Second is that you have to take up a club officer role. Very soon, there'll be officer roles will be changing over to new people. So be willing to raise your hand and take up a role, either as a president, secretary, treasurer. Another role that you have to achieve is that you need to serve on the district executive. What does that actually mean? It means either being an area director, being a division director, or being in the cabinet. Once you have done that, you also need to have completed at least 2 levels in your pathway. When I discovered that, I was like, I'm going to get onto this journey and become a DTM. I joined Toastmasters in February 2020. And once I knew I needed to complete 2 pathway levels, I quickly went onto that journey of completing my speeches. I completed my first pathway, presentation mastery, went on to dynamic leadership, motivational strategies. And before I knew it, I had completed 5 pathway levels. I had served as an area director, served as a division director, and being even extra, I'm serving on the cabinet right now. You may be wondering, Leah, have you qualified for being a DTM? The one thing that got me stuck is the DTM project. I looked around, tried to ask people, what kind of project does one have to do? I asked several people, I could never get a clear answer. Sometimes they'll tell me, I did this, that, and I'll think, there's no way I'll be able to do that. For example, someone told me that they had a function at a university campus where they invited 150 children. They had t-shirts made, and I thought, that is not something I'll be able to do. 4 years later in my Toastmasters journey, I had an idea. If I am stuck, I'm sure there are other people who are also stuck on what DTM project they would need to, for them to be able to get that Distinguished Toastmaster Award. So my plan is to help other people like me who have been stuck. So my project will focus on interviewing people who have achieved the DTM award, asking them questions, how they became a DTM, and specifically what project they did in detail, as a way to jog people's ideas on what exactly they can do. I plan to have interviews which I will then publish on our club YouTube page so that they can live on beyond even my own project. So that when there are other people who are stuck and need ideas of what kind of DTM projects they can pursue, they will have a reference point they can refer to. I'm sure this will help other Toastmasters to flourish on their own DTM journey. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, sometimes we find ourselves stuck, whether it's in our workplaces, maybe it's at home, or maybe even our own career. I once read this funny quote that says, "You are not a tree, you can move." You don't have to wait to have everything figured out for you to move forward. You just need to take that step. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leah Msunga. Before you get off the virtual stage, Leah, I can see that there is a ZM before your name. You have told us about IPQD, CGD, DTM. So please explain to my audience what that ZM is about. Is it Zambia? Is it Zoom? What is that ZM about?
ZM is Zoom Master. So the technical support in the background.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That ZM is for Zoom Master. And for those of you who are wondering what that TMOD before my name stands for, is Toastmaster of the Day, for the benefit of our visiting Toastmasters. It looks like Hasina was able to join back in the meeting. Hasina, are you back? There is Toastmaster Leader. I'll be inviting back to the virtual stage her evaluator, Carla. Carla, Hasina is here. Please share her speech objectives. In technical issues, Hasina is doing her presentation mastery level 2 project, and she's doing project 2. Okay, there is Carla.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting. Toastmaster Asina, our purpose of our speech is for her to define Toastmasters mentorship. And the second aspect is how Toastmasters has helped her as a protege. Toastmaster of the meeting, Lami.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Help me welcome to the virtual stage Hasina with Footprints of Mentorship. Footprints of Mentorship, Hasina.
Good evening, Master of Ceremony, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Have you ever faced a challenge so tough that you told yourself, never again? I vividly remember my first climb up the Khale Hill. My friend and I were excited until we see the steep trails and rocky terrains. At one point, we had to scramble on all our fours like rocky gods, mountain gods. By the time we got home, our knees were screaming with pains, and I swore never again. Once bitten, twice shy, right? But not for me. I went again. I refuse to let this experience define me. This time I went with an experienced hiker who knew in and out of the trails. He took us to the smoother pathway, and before I knew, I was already at the top of the hill while still waiting for that dreaded rocky stretch. This experience mirrors the power of mentors. So, mentorship is not just to guide us, it transforms us. Mentors are not just to help us, they, they shape us in profound ways. Today, I'm going to share 3 ways where the mentors they help us guide us. So there are 3 junctures where we get stuck and they help us taking from one stage to another. So the first one is ambition to preparation. Ambition is universal, but how often do we act on it? So mentor, they work as a catalyst. They change our I wish to I will and eventually to I did. Mentors, they plan for us like Google Map. They guide us our pathway. They avoid the dead ends and they steer clear of the missteps. Without mentor, even the clear goals we won't be able to achieve. As the common saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I heard it many times in our Toastmaster meeting, and it goes very well with all journey of growth. So mentors help us in making our plans. They give us a solid foundation. Now plan is here. What next? Here the mentor they does the second role. From procrastination to action. Isn't it? We always that silent voice whispers, maybe later, not now. A powerful mentor, they stop that, they silence that voice. They give us they challenge us. They nudge us forward if we are hesitating. They celebrate every step we take. Isn't it Pablo Picasso wisely said that you put off until tomorrow only if you are ready to die without doing that work. So these mentors they let us they break our silence, they break the journey of this and they bring momentum to us. Now once we are ready to act, the next challenge comes is to overcome the mediocrity. So here the mentors they take our potential to power. So we have talent, but it is like a raw diamond, we need to shape it. So mentors like a sculptor, they 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 remove the self-doubt, they refine our skills, and they extract our potential to the next level. This Michelangelo, he said that the danger is not to having high aim and not to reach, but to make low aim and to reach it. Till today, so these are the three places where we need mentors: from ambition to preparation, from procrastination to action, and then from potential to power. So as for today, my sister who lives miles away used to guide me, and her feedback was like as sharp as surgeon's scalpel. You need to time yourself. Your opening should have a punch. You have to practice in front of mirror. No one likes a speaker who rambles. Initially, I felt nagging, but when I started implementing, I started to flourish. So today, I'm ready to take in-person mentor and aspire to be one for the others to follow. So mentorship is not just to guide others, but and to follow the footstep of others, but also to leave our trails so that the others can follow us. That's the legacy, and it footprints. It keeps mentoring the other people coming in. Isaac Newton once said that if I have seen further, I have done standing on the shoulder of the giant. And I believe that every mentor is a giant. So whether you are seeking for a mentor, becoming mentor, or doing both, make sure that every step you leave, someone is following it. So let's do our best to do more than just a success. Let us leave our footprints of mentorship. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hasina. Let us leave our footprints of mentorship. Thank you very much for that challenge, Toastmaster Hasina. We've heard it from our prepared speakers. That was our last prepared speaker for this evening. Now we'll be getting into another time of voting for the best speaker. And just to remind you of our speakers, our first speaker this evening was Bipilo with her speech title, Back to School. Then we had Lillian with The Power of a Spoken Word. We also had Tawanda, It's Not For You. Bipelo, My Communication Style. Hasina, Footprints of Mentorship. Leah Musunga, Becoming DTM. We are at 20%, 23%. Let us keep voting, ladies and gentlemen. %, 46, 50. Bipelo Tube, Back to School. Lillian, The Power of a Spoken Word. Tawanda, It's Not For You. Bipelo, Understanding Communication Style. Leah Musunga, Becoming DTM. And lastly, Hasina with Footprints of Mentorship. We are at 66%. Let's take it to 80. I know only 3 people are not able to vote, our host and co-host, so we still have 3 more people that needs to vote, or that can vote. We are sitting at 66%. Let's vote for our best effort speaker this evening. Best effort speaker. 3 more votes.
I think we've reached 2 minutes. We have to close the poll now.
Okay, we have reached 2 minutes and we're sitting at 70%. Thank you very much for everyone who has voted for our best effort speaker. Thank you, Madam Zoom Master. I nearly said Madam ZM. Okay, I've ended the poll, Madam Zoom Master. We'll be now moving on to our timekeeper report. Toastmaster Leah, are you ready with the timekeeper's report?
Yes. So
Okay.
for our sorry, for our speakers this evening, we had Bipilo. The first Bipilo, 6 minutes 31 seconds. Lillian, 6 minutes 43. Tawanda, 6 minutes 55. Then Bipilo Maulisi, 7 minutes 31. Leah, 7 minutes 22, and Hasina, 6 minutes 54. Everyone was, sort of within time. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leah. And well done to all our speakers that they spoke within the allocated time. When the meeting started, I believe you heard me mentioning that we'll be having a table topics segment. And in Toastmasters, we believe that a Toastmaster wears many hats. I'll be inviting to the virtual stage Toastmaster Hasina, who will be facilitating the table topics segment. Toastmaster Hasina, are you ready? I believe she's ready. Toastmaster Hasina, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Good evening again. So I'm your table topic master for today. I have prepared 10 thought-provoking good questions around our theme, planting seeds, a powerful metaphor, initiating ideas, actions, and growth. I want to make this session win-win for everyone, for speakers to hone their skills, for audience to get the refreshing perspectives, and for me as a I want to prove my active listening power. It is a part of my project. I'm at path 2 level. So once I finish active listening, then I would be done with part 2. So it would be win-win for everyone. And I trust you will find this session engaging, dynamic with your enthusiastic efforts. I would like to invite 5 volunteers, 4 or 5 volunteers, and I will give such questions. You could answer it as hilarious, creative, inspirational. I mean, choices are unlimited, and your time will be for 1 to 2 minutes. I would encourage all of you to use the word of the day, flourish. So, who is the first one to plant the seed for today?
Tawanda had raised his hand. He had noted in the chat.
Thank you, Tawanda. So I would like you to pick from number 1 to 10. So I could, hello?
I choose 10.
You choose 10. Okay. So your question is, some seeds take years to grow into strong trees. What is a goal or dream you have nurtured for a long time? Should I repeat? Some seeds takes years to grow into strong trees. What is a goal or dream you have nurtured for a long time?
Some seeds only take less than a day to grow into a plant, and before you know it, they are beautiful flower or tree. Others take a long time. Seeds are like dreams, and dreams also take time. Either they take a short time to materialize or a very long time. One of my dreams that has taken a long time to materialize is becoming an NBA basketball player. I've always looked up to people like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and I would love to strive to be such people because of just their eye-catching rhythm as they dunk on a basketball court. But I'm aging now, and I'm not the right age for a basketball player. But I'll keep on striving. I might not achieve being an NBA player, but I can motivate people like my son or my friends which aspire for that ambition as well. Because if I can't achieve my dream, at least I can inspire, influence, and motivate others to do the same. So that is what I encourage you to do today. You might be stuck in the ground for so long that you'll never flourish and become a big tree. But you can really motivate, inspire, be the wind of change for other people to flourish, inspire. So my next dream is to be a coach of an NBA team. Thank you.
Thank you, Tawanda. Your response is so inspiring, and I believe that all dreams doesn't come true, but you have accepted that it depends on the environment and age and so many other factors, but you have kept your dream true in giving this aspiration to the future generation or the other people around you. Thank you so much. You were so prompt and organized in your thought, and we all felt your love to the basketball. Thank you. So,
Thank
who is ready to take the second question? Hello. Who is going to carry this garden to grow? Anyone, or should I pick someone? Hello. Don't worry. It is,
I'll take it.
you'll take it. It's Leah. Is it?
No, it's
Hello?
Boipelo, first speaker.
Oh, boy pillow. Yeah. Thank you, boy pillow. Thank you. So, what do you like to choose? Number 1 to 9?
Let's go with 7.
With 7. Okay. So, imagine you have a magic seed that could grow into anything. What type of tree would you grow and why?
Thank you very
you-
much.
Yeah.
Let me firstly applaud you for the very nicely constructed, thought-provoking questions that you've come up with. If I had a magic seed that I could plant into becoming anything, it would obviously be a seed of kindness, because I believe that we can achieve everything we want, we can be all that we want, but if we forget what makes us human after all, if we forget the thread that binds our communities, then it's all for nothing, because then that means that I can just step on someone for me to attain what I want, but then that doesn't work for us as a collective, as a society. So if there's any seed, a magic seed that I could plant, it would definitely be kindness. That is from young kids, that would help with issues like bullying, which is very unfortunate that we find a lot of in schools. And it's sad that we grow with that into work environments, even family setups. One of the speakers spoke about childhood and adulthood traumas. I wish we could be kind to one another. It would make the world a much beautiful place. Thank you very much.
Wow, such a noble gesture and such a meaningful plans, meaningful ideas you have. I really love the way you think about the community as a whole, not for your personal growth, but you believe that with together we grow. Thank you so much. And your presentation was really amazing. Thank you. Now, who is coming next? Please volunteer yourself.
Our other people also wanted to speak.
Okay, boy pillow, thank you. So what number would you like to choose from 1 to 6 and then 8? Number 1. If you could plant a tree today that symbolizes your personality, what would it be and why?
Okay, thank you very much, Christina, for that very interesting question. I think that symbolizes my personality. I would plant a seed of love, a seed of love by showing, by encouraging people to learn how to love one another unconditionally, especially in the offices. How do you do your love? Love is a very simple thing, and love can be defined in different ways, whereby there is love in gender-related, female, male, love for connection. But I want to talk about the love whereby at work we want to support each other. I feel like at work we spend most of the time, actually most of the hours of our day are spent at work. Sometimes we fail to help each other. We fail to recognize that by helping somebody grow in the office, you're actually showing them love. By putting somebody first, by coaching someone to be self-managing, to be able to take any role, is the love that they give that person. That person can grow with until most of that can get respect. So the seed of love is required, especially in the offices. Genuine love, love that can really be translated into other things. So for me, that's enough. It would be growing the seed of love.
Thank you, Boipilo. I was not able to hear it properly, was it? But I could understand that you wanted to grow a plant of love. So it means that I wanted you to plant a real tree like rose. I believe you wanted to plant roses, which is a symbol of love. And that's a great choice. And it is interesting that people who wants to spread love, they want to see love everywhere, whether it is home or family or anywhere. So thank you so much. And I'm asking audience, would you like to write that which tree symbolizes your personality? Maybe you can write in the chat box. May I take another volunteer also? Thank you, Boipilo. Thank you. May I take another volunteer?
Hi, Hasina. I'm able to take up a table topic.
Okay. Your name, please?
Alisa.
Palesa. Okay. Okay, Palesa.
Yes.
Which number do you want to choose?
I will
One.
select number 5.
Number 1, she selected.
Number 5. 5.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So your question is, what is the best piece of advice you have received and how did it help you to grow, to flourish?
Thank you, Hasina. What is the best piece of advice I have received and how did it help me to flourish? The best piece of advice I received was from a successful uncle of mine who is an entrepreneur. He once said to me, "It's not about you failing. It's about how many times you dust yourself and get back up." That's usually where people do not succeed. because failure is scary to them. And I took that to heart. One thing about me, I will dust myself up and get back up. Even after embarrassing moments, even after falling flat on my face, I have the propensity to always dust myself and get back up. I believe that successful people always get through that hurdle by doing exactly that. Most people let the fear of being embarrassed, the fear of not knowing, the fear of being afraid to ask, prevent them from getting ahead and succeeding. That advice has kept me going with everything that I have been through. It has helped me flourish in my personal life, my career, and the relationships that I have built to become where I am right now. That is the advice that I have taken to heart and has helped me succeed. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. What a powerful advice you have received. And I believe failure is not the opposite of success. And failure is like a stepping stone where you can change your setback to setup. And you have done explained it very well. Thank you so much. I have seen that in chat box someone has written like you like to be a baobab tree, and I like that. That was also my choice, and I wanted to be a baobab because of its unique. It's upside down, and it has endurance and long years. I mean, longevity is there, and even it can feed elephants, and then we can use it for creature things and all. I don't know if you have written what the your reason to symbolize yourself with baobab baobab tree. Oh, what happened? Hello, can I? Something is wrong. Yeah. Okay. So that's the end of our uh, table topic section, and I hope that everyone enjoyed this section, and we learned something, and we got the new fresh perspectives. Thank you so much. I believe that we all nurture ourselves like that, stay with the, not to be fearful of failure. We have to spread love, we have to spread kindness, and we have to inspire other people around us. Thank you so much. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hasina, for facilitating the table topics section. This is the part where we practice our impromptu speaking, where we're not prepared for these questions, but we just have to learn to speak off the cuff. And before moving on to for voting the best table speaker, I like to read from the chat box. Hasina posted a very interesting question. Which tree describes you? And I have Bipilo here who is saying baobab tree. Tawanda here, apple tree. Anybody else who'd like to share which tree represents that growth? We have a baobab tree, we have an apple tree. Anybody else? I guess people will keep sharing on in the chat box. Mopani tree. Very interesting. Mopani tree. Timele, do you mind explaining to my guests what a Mopani tree is?
Hi, Lame. A Mopani tree is a very peculiar tree that only grows in the northeast. So I think it represents my personality because it's picky about where it goes. It doesn't come to Gaborone. And once a year, it sheds all of its leaves and just remains looking like a stick there. But also, once a year, or twice a year actually, it feeds the Mopani worms. another delicacy I love. So that's why I love the mopane too.
Yes, for those of you, like she's saying, it's a delicacy of mopane worm. What's a mopane worm called in English, Timelo? Or the scientific name?
That mopane worm. The scientific name is quite difficult. I think I forgot it, but I do know it too.
Okay, for those of us who don't know what a mopane worm is, I believe Google will be able to do a better job. So we also have someone who shared acacia of Africa. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sharing what kind of a tree describes your growth. That brings us to this part of now voting for our best table topics. Speaker, Zoom Master, are you ready with the poll? There you have it. We had our first speaker was Tawanda. She's nurtured for a long time. Buipelo with magic seed I could plant. Buipelo Omiet, tree symbolizing your personality. Palesa, best advice that helped you flourish. I'll go that over again. We had Tawanda, seed nurtured for a long time. Buipelo, magic seed I could plant. Buipelo Omiet, tree symbolizing your personality. Palesa with best advice that helped you flourish. We're sitting at 47. I believe we can get to 70, like we did with the first poll. One more minute to go. You still have a chance to vote for your best table topic speaker. Madam Zoom Master, let me know when you are ready to close the poll.
Maybe we can move on to the next part while the poll is running. I'll just close it once we reach the required percentage.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Leah. Will be now moving again into another interesting, one of the most interesting segments in Toastmaster, the Hack Master session. I believe our listening policy is ready. Hack Master, are you ready?
I am. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
The visual floor is yours.
Thank you. I'll get right into it. What was Buipelo's title? What was the title of Buipelo's speech?
Back to school.
Back to school. How long ago did Buipelo go back to school?
10 years ago.
Tapo.
I can only hear one person.
Hello, Tapo.
Emma?
I was going to say, for the benefit of our guests, please ask everyone to unmute themselves.
Okay, sorry for that. Kindly unmute yourselves while we take the quiz. Most people are still muted.
I think you can continue.
Yeah, let me continue. Okay. Lillian, our second speaker, talked about some actor. Who was the actor?
Jim Carrey.
Which two Bible chapters did Lillian quote?
Genesis
1. John.
Genesis and?
John.
John. Moving right along. Who was Thabo marrying?
Lorraine.
What color tie was Thabo wearing on his wedding day?
Green.
Light green.
Oh, wow.
What was the first statement the minister who was officiating Lorraine and Tabo speech made, wedding made?
It's
Not
not for
about
you.
you.
It's not for
Not
you.
for you. Not about you.
This wedding is not for you. How many sisters does Tawanda have?
3.
3.
Thank you. Who was speaker number 4 on the prepared speech segment?
Leah.
Pipelo.
Boipelo, Mwalusi Omiet. Who was evaluating Hasina Handan?
Kala.
Kala.
Which hill did Hasina and friend climb?
Kale.
Kale Hill. Who did Liam Sunga quote when she was opening her speech?
Oprah Winfrey.
When did Liam Sunga join Toastmasters?
2020.
Which month?
April, I think.
Feb.
Okay.
What did Leah say IPP stands for?
Immediate past president.
Okay, what are the requirements of becoming DTM?
Need to be a Toastmaster.
Level
1.
2.
Complete 2 pathways.
2 pathways.
The other one?
Serve on the cabinet.
The other one?
No.
The third one?
No.
Serve as a club officer and
No,
on
serve
district.
on the district executive.
Yes.
The other one?
Complete
the
a pathway.
Do a project.
Do a project.
Thank you. My time is up. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you.
I told you, ladies and gentlemen, it was going to be an interesting segment. That's the Hug Master segment. And with that said, that brings me to the end of my duty this evening. Thank you very much for being part of this meeting. Thank you to all our speakers, to all our role takers. I'll be handing over to our general evaluator who will be evaluating this segment. And I will kindly just request our general evaluator to explain her role, because I had not initially called her to explain her role at the beginning of the meeting. So she will kindly explain her role and tell us what will be happening in the evaluation segment. Over to you, Carla.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
You're calling on me to evaluate, is that?
Yes, Cara, I was calling you to facilitate the general evaluation segment and just kindly explain to our visiting Toastmaster what the general evaluator's role is.
The role of a general evaluator is to evaluate every aspect of the meeting, from its commencement to its conclusion. The general evaluator is also responsible for a team, which includes the timer, table topic speaker, our counter, and grammarian. Are these persons on the call Toastmaster of the meeting? The grammarian, our counter?
Yes.
Very well. Well, these persons are responsible for reporting on the meeting this evening. The accountant will present their role as well as the grammarian. We have a word of the day, and the grammarian will give a definition of the word and say how many times the person used the word and if there were any incorrect spelling or usage of the English language this evening. Toastmaster of the meeting. Then we have the accountant present their report on their findings of how many times persons use the pause fillers.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Tonight, I had the privilege to be the R and counter, as well as the grammarian. For our reports tonight, I'll start with the first speaker, Boipelo Tube. She used the word of the day twice, and I noted 6 arms and no R's. And the second speaker, Lillian, I didn't note any arms or R's, and she also did not use the word of the day, flourish. However, she used quotes such as the power of life, and also she mentioned quotes such as life traumas has us choked. And the third speaker, Tawanda, he used the word of the day twice. And the fourth speaker, Leah, used the word of the day flourish once and no record of R or arms. And also she used words such as eloquent, and she gave us quotes from Oprah Winfrey as well. And the fifth speaker, who was Hasina, I've noted 8 arms and 3 R's, and she used the word of the day twice. She also used words such as procrastination, catalyst, and also she used idioms such as once bitten, twice shy, and screaming with pain. That is my report for the R and arms, and also as the grammarian. Thank you.
And we have a timer. Present your report, please. Thank you very much.
So the timing for the table topics speakers was as follows. Tawanda was 2 minutes 9 seconds. Boipelo today was 1 minute 18. Boipelo Maolisi was 2 minutes 7, and Palesa took 1 minute 54. Madam General, I already shared the timing for the speakers already. So those were the timing.
Thank you very much. Great. So we have our first evaluator. Give your evaluation for our first prepared speaker, please. Following random order.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Tonight, I had the pleasure to evaluate the first speaker, who was Ms. Boipelo Tube. Let me start off by congratulating you, Boipelo. Your speech, you achieved your speech purpose, which was to present a speech with a purpose, with a clear purpose. Throughout your speech, we could see the purpose of your speech. You took us on your journey of going back to school, and you told us some of the techniques that you are using to stay on course, like having study routines, like being open to leveraging technology. And you also gave practical tips of keeping in check while pursuing your academic endeavors. Like you told us about prioritizing sleep, exercising, delegating tasks at work. So I want to believe you achieved the objective of your speech. So thumbs up on that one.
you flourished. Now I would like to give my feedback in 3 ways. I would like to first give it on things you excelled at. First and foremost, I think you had clear communication throughout. We could hear what you were relaying throughout. Your message or your speech was clear and well organized. And on the delivery as well, you were audible. We could hear your toning was clear, I want to believe, and the pace at which you gave your speech also was excellent. So thumbs up on that one. I would also commend you for keeping an eye contact throughout your presentation. You looked at the camera, we could see you. So keep on doing that one. Now, on areas of improvement, you could want to engage your audience more going forward. You can do something like ask a question, give a comment that would make the audience, to provoke the audience to think. An engaging thing like what our second speaker did there, making us say those affirmations, something that could engage the audience. I would also encourage you to use the body language a lot more. Maybe because you were sitting down, we could not really appreciate how you were using the body language, but I would urge you to do more of that. And also try and use a vocal variety on your next speeches. I would lastly like to encourage you or to ask you to challenge yourself on your next presentation to give a speech standing up, because when you stand up, would be able to see your body gestures. As I mentioned, that we need to appreciate your body gestures during your presentation. Thank you, and keep on doing amazing work. I wish you well on your next presentation. Thank you. I think I'm up next. I had the honor to evaluate Lillian. Lillian, I must say you really did well. You did that speech justice. I was glued to the screen from the beginning of your speech until the end. I must commend you on a few things that you really did well, such as your level of comfort when you were giving your speech. You were very comfortable and you were so confident. Also, you did smile at your audience while you were giving your speech, which also really shows that you were very comfortable during your speech. You also gave your speech standing and you maintained eye contact. But there are 3 things that were outstanding with your speech tonight. You started your speech by giving us a story to relate and introduce your subject of the power of a spoken word. This story, everyone knows, they can relate to the creativity of a well-known actor, Jim Carrey, and that story introduced your subject very well. Also, the second thing that you really did well with your speech was choosing an appropriate title. I remember when I started my speeches in Toastmasters, I really struggled with choosing an appropriate title for my speech. I think I must really commend you on how aligned your speech title was to your speech. And also, the most outstanding thing that you did was to fully engage your audience. You captured the moment when you asked your audience to repeat the affirmations after you, which is also an emphasis on your speech title, The Power of a Spoken Word. That was an example of fully engaging the audience. And also, not just that, I must applaud you on how you ended your speech with applauding them. After they repeated the affirmations, you applauded them to show appreciation of how they engaged with you during your speech. However, I must say you might want to work on your movements, your body gestures, your use of hands was very good, but you might want to work on moving. Since your screen was on portrait, you might want to move your body and feet. You might want to move backwards or into the screen so that not only your hands are moving. And also you might want to challenge yourself on working on your use of different tone and pitch, just to add a little bit of vocal variety in your next speeches. Thank you so much. And I must say, you really flourished in delivering your speech objectives, Lillian.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters and guests. Tonight, I had the pleasure of evaluating Toastmaster Tawanda Muvumbi, who gave a speech titled, "It's Not For You." I, for one, want to commend Tawanda on that wonderful speech because I, too, saw myself at Thabo and Lorraine's wedding. I guess you did, too. But for the benefit of this evaluation and for Tawanda to hear me, I'd like to give my evaluation in the typical Toastmaster fashion. That is 3 things you did well, 2 things you may want to improve, and 1 way to challenge yourself. First and foremost, you gave a lovely speech where you incorporated a story that actually happened to you, and you realized or you leveraged on the story to just add color to your speech. You are also intentional about the body language you use during the speech. That is, you pointed to the groom, pointed to the bride, and even quoted that speech, which allowed you to use your vocal variety. I loved how you spoke of how the wife said, or the bride at the time, Lorraine said, "Don't tell me his wife and kids that I know nothing about are here." You know, that showed in true essence how storytelling and quoting actual live speech can brighten up your speech. 2 things you may want to work on, however. I think I found one. I'm just forcing the second. The first one, I realized how, because you had performed the speech before, you made it intentional that you display your vocal variety. This showed when you gave your quoted speech using pitch and tone. When Power entered into the chat, his voice went deep, which is something I can commend you on. However, I think there are several elements of vocal variety that you can incorporate. That is, other elements other than pitch and tone, which are volume and speed. Volume and speed are what allow you to flow through the speech without sounding monotonous. At some point, you speed up, at some times you speed down, or you increase the volume, shout, or mellow down. This is one way you can actually improve your speech. Another thing I would say would be stage presence. This is the one I'm forcing. Unfortunately, with virtual platforms, it's not the easiest to show your stage presence. But I, however, appreciate how you moved from one side to another, and in the end, did the one side, middle to the end. This is something you could work on in the future, as well as to help you show your body language a lot better. Last, one way to challenge yourself is that the rhetorical questions you asked us, you said we could imagine ourselves there. There were so many other questions you asked. They gave an opportunity for you to include us in your speech, which is where you include your audience or you engage your audience. That is one thing you could just challenge yourself to incorporate next time and going forth. In summary, the 3 things you did well were that you incorporated storytelling, you were intentional about your body language, and you used quoted speech. 2 things you may want to work on are vocal variety and, in specificity, volume and speed. And lastly, stage presence. One way to challenge yourself would be to leverage on the rhetorical questions to engage your audience. Thank you, Tawanda, for that wonderful speech. Well done. I look forward to hearing from you in the future, and perhaps you'll visit the club again. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator, or the next evaluator. Thank you.
you very much. Can we have our next evaluator present your speech as well? We want to go accordingly in the interest of time, please.
Good evening once again. I had the pleasure of evaluating Boipelo Omiat. Boipelo, well done on a well-crafted speech. I'm glad to report that you met all the objectives of your speech. The objective was just for the appreciation of the audience, was to learn about different communication styles, which you clearly demonstrated by listing all the communication styles which are available. It was also to identify your own communication style, which you clearly did by letting us know that you are a direct communicator. The next objective was to tell us how your communication style impacted others. You did that wonderfully. Well done, Boipelo. I would like to let you know what you excelled at. You communicated clearly, and although there was an issue with the sound, it wasn't quite clear, I could tell that you had prepared your speech. You flowed in the way that you gave the speech. The next thing that you excelled at was you did your research. I remember that when I gave a similar speech, I did not list the communication styles, which effectively gave off that I did not do my research. So I appreciate you listing the communication styles and also educating the audience as well for those people who do not know the different communication styles. The next thing is your body language, your hand gestures. You use them really well. In instances where you were naming, I remember there was a point where you said for, and when you said my, that just reiterates what you're meaning and shows the audience that you're speaking about yourself by using the hand gestures appropriately. Right. What I would like for you to work on, Boipelo, is although the body language was positive, there were instances where I felt it became a bit distracting and did not match what you were saying. For instance, there's a point where you said, use the word to embrace, and you said embrace. Embracing is usually taking things in, it's to embrace. So I would have appreciated seeing you say something like embrace, right? And then the second thing I would like for you to work on is how you position yourself in the camera when you are speaking. I'm an evaluator, so I'm not a priority this evening. You are. So it would have been nice to see your entire body and maybe just stand up for everyone to see you so we can appreciate your hand gestures and your movement, right? Okay. And then with the challenge, I would like for you to challenge yourself. Like I mentioned, your hand gestures are both positive and a little negative. So maybe try to keep your hands to yourself or maybe clenched and then use them only when you want to emphasize a point and then keep them again. Because when you're not standing up, it ends up looking like this, right? Yes, that is all that I have this evening. I would like to commend you for a well-crafted speech. You did excellent. You excelled at your objectives, and it was a great speech to listen to. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pelsima. I will give my evaluation for Toastmaster Asino. Toastmaster Asino, congratulations on presenting your speech this evening. I will further commend you on 3 aspects of your presentation. The first, that you began with thank. For example, you said, once bitten, twice shy, right? Not for me. You also stated mentorship is not just to shape us. You said mentorship is not just to shape us, but it is in a profound ways. Without mentors, we will not be able to make it. I believe every mentor is a giant. These are some of your preferences and words that resonated with me this evening. I would have loved to see you, even though you were standing, there were times when you were far away from your device. So we were not able to see much of your facial expression and your hand gestures as well as your body language. I want to encourage you that when you are presenting your presentation, to fix your camera in such a way that we will be able to see you from here and your head. In that way, your hand gestures, body movement, and facial expressions will be seen collectively. The second thing I would like to encourage you on is to ensure that you practice, prepare, and present in excellence. When you started with a bit of a fumble. It appears as though you couldn't remember your script, but at the end, you mastered it all, wrapping it together and presenting an excellent presentation. The third aspect I would like to encourage you on is to pause and allow us, the member of the audience, to really hear what you were saying so that we can dive in and listen to everything that you are going to speak. And wrapping up, I would want to say that when you are sharing your presentation, remember that your speech objectives is very important. You were tasked with the responsibility to tell us how Toastmasters envision mentoring. Even though you shared aspect of your mentorship role, you did not tell us how Toastmasters envision mentorship. And I believe that this is a critical part of your project where you need to incorporate that. So going forward, I want you to remember that your speech objectives are very important in your presentation. Secondly, to ensure that you fix your camera in such a way that you're able to see you, and remember to incorporate the audience by calling someone in the audience. Toastmaster Leah, how has Toastmasters mentorship program help you develop over the years? Here ends my contribution as an evaluator. I will go right into my evaluations for the table topic. Toastmaster Asina again. Thought-provoking questions this evening. You had 5 presenters. The first thing I would like to encourage you on is to see what table topics is all about, because we do not know what table topics is all about. There are guests on the call, and some Toastmasters might be familiar, but for our guests, table topics is a question, the mini speech from 1 to 2 minutes. You have 30 seconds to wrap up. You also need to prepare for the table topic segments as well, and to repeat the questions 2 times for emphasis. In this way, while the Toastmaster is searching their thoughts to present, the question will resonate with them. Secondly, to do a synopsis of the presentation of our table topic speaker this evening. For example, when Toastmaster Bipolar said, if you could plant a tree today, like your personality, what would it be? And she immediately went right into the question. Secondly, what is the best piece of advice you have received, and how did you help to follow? Some of the questions were very long, while some were short. I believe that some of the Toastmasters weren't able to grasp the questions that you were asking, but nonetheless, they made a deliberate effort to present and answer the topic to how best they understand the topic. And I want to wrap up by saying that when you are presenting the topic, to do a short exhortation on what the speaker would have said instead of doing the entire presentation. You had great active and listening skill, and I must commend you for that. Thank you once again for taking up 2 roles this evening and mastering that as a whole. Toastmaster of the meeting. And we have our final evaluator. Before we get back to the Toastmaster of the meeting, go right ahead and give your presentation.
Retabile, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay, all right. Thank you very well, Madam General Evaluator. Let me know if I'm audible now and visible. I believe I'm audible.
Yes.
All
yes.
right, let's get to it. Yes. Tonight, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I had the privilege of evaluating one of our seasoned Toastmasters, Toastmaster Leah. To you, Toastmaster Leah, well done in delivering that well speech, and you have indeed satisfied your objectives. Your objective was to deliver a organized speech, well executed speech, and introduce us to your plan and the vision. And I would say that was well done. When you started your speech, you told us about the time when you were stuck. I'm wondering here, all of us, who was never stuck or you got stuck? Whether you're developing a project or when you wanted to start, even at work, how you wanted to start what you were supposed to do, the work that you've been given. For me, it was by level 5. I think the first speech of my level 5. I think about 6 months to think about, wow, am I going to deliver that speech? And at that time, finally, I was able to deliver that speech. And Leah was here today to our rescue. Thank you very well, Leah, on that. Your speech was well delivered. You were able to tell us about your plan. And most importantly, how you got there. Why are the aims of your project and how you are going to do your project and everything in it. You're going to interview people and you're going to publish those on YouTube. I believe all of us are waiting for that YouTube, those videos, because they are going to assist us. The frustration of going through the internet and looking for guidance. Now Leah has come to our rescue. And into that also, I love the fact that you called us for action. You know, you want to be a DTM. The first step for you is what? You need to move. You're not trees. We need to be there for others. Leah is here to help us. So we need to take up action and take up those roles. If you want to be the DTM, let's start with this office. Take up the office, a club officer, a secretary, a president, a treasurer, or all those office roles that are there. Please take them up if you want to be at the TM. What I think you need to work on, Leah, just for improvement. I realized that when you gave your speech, you were sitting or you were standing in one position, maybe because this is a virtual stage and sometimes we have those challenges, the gadgets that we use. And most of the spaces you were moving in was front and back, and we are not seeing you move within your space. So in our next speeches, let's try to improve our space. Maybe try look at how you can position your gadget, whether in a straight one position or in a longer position, so that we are able to see you, because in that space we are not able to see most of your body language, because there was a time when you were excited and I could just see your face and I could see only your hands. I just wanted to see how excited is Leah dancing or that gestures. I wanted to see that body language. What I want you to challenge on is try play around that gadget that you are using and challenge yourself in displaying your most upper body to this side so that we are able to see your hand gestures and how you use them, because we are only seeing most of your hands here. Otherwise, well delivered speech. You called us to action, and we can't wait for those videos. Once you publish, I think I'll be the first one. Back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Lisa, for your evaluation. As a general evaluator, I would like to give my final report of today's meeting. The meeting started on time, and there was an agenda that was presented before the meeting in the meeting chat, and I really appreciate that. We saw that all presenters were on time. When I joined the meeting room was already open, and there were persons who were conversing, encouraging each other, greeting them while they're coming into the meeting room, and I must commend you for that. All our presenter this evening, it shows that you took time to prepare, plan, and present your speech. And for that, we were able to receive from you and take away lots of nuggets from your presentation. Yes, our evaluators, you did an exceptional job. Your listening skills were on par. Your listening skills were on par, and we know for a fact that you take notes during the presentation. To the tag team, you did an exceptional job. Our counter and grammarian, your listening skills as well as the grammarian report showed that you were listening effectively to each speaker as they speak. Once again, thank you for an exceptional meeting this evening, and we wish that you would all invite someone as you come to the next meeting. Toastmaster of the meeting, here ends my report. Toastmaster Leah there.
Maybe just to save time, I will, I know we're supposed to launch the poll for the best evaluator. I think we don't, should I still launch it? Do we have time?
Please launch it while I give my announcements.
All right, okay,
Yes.
all right. Let me launch the poll for best evaluator. You can go ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone, for bearing with us and staying so long on the call. We are glad to announce that our next meeting will be on the 4th of March. So I don't know if you remember, last year we had a month where we had speakathons every other month to encourage our members to level up. So this is what we're doing in the month of March. We're calling it Level Up the Sequel. So please try and sign up for those speeches and challenge yourself to level up in the month of March. Next meeting, 4th March. Another date you need to take note is that of the speech contest. So what we've done is collaborated with our sister club, Gaborone Breakfast Club, who has a venue at Maruapula. So on the 15th of March, we'll be with Gaborone Breakfast Club in a joint club contest, after which we'll go on to area and the like. So please sign up for the contest. The requirements are that you have, okay, for table topics and evaluations, if you're a paid up member, you can participate in those. But for the international speech contest, you need to have finished level 2 of any path. So I'm looking forward to you spamming Leah, signing up for the speech contest. Another or the last announcement is that we have opened for renewals. So our term is coming to an end of March. And because our club is self-pay enabled, you can go on the platform on Basecamp or on the Toastmasters website, www.toastmasters.org, and you can pay your subscription it's open. It's been open this past month, and subscriptions are open till the beginning of the next term. So up until end of March, we encourage you to go and pay your subscription so you continue to have access to our educational materials. With that said, Leah, are we ready to give our awards and recognitions? We won't keep you long, I promise.
Yes, I can go ahead and do that. Let me
Yes.
just share this. So I have ended the poll for evaluator. So based on the people who voted, our best evaluator, we had Palesa Mahato. Well done, Palesa. And then best table topic speaker, we had Palesa again. Well done. Double award for you, Palesa. And then best effort speaker of the night is Lillian. Woo! Well done, Lillian. Well done. Yeah. And obviously we want to thank our speaker, Tawanda, and Carla, who was our general evaluator and also an evaluator. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Could I please beg that we switch on our cameras for the picture, and then I'll just let you go. I will see we've kept you for far too long, but guests can stay and participate in a question and answer segment with me and Leah if they're willing or want to know anything else. Please switch on your camera if you're able. So we take a screenshot for our YouTube page. Please follow us on YouTube. We've been live. You can watch those speeches again. You can even watch our playlist of speeches that have been given in the past. Are we ready? Cheese!
Okay, I see some cameras are still going on, so I'll just give it 1 more minute before I take a picture for our thumbnail.
Yes, for our
We
thumbnail.
always use it for our thumbnail. Try our best. I see Palesa, your video is still okay. There we go. More people have switched on. All right. So with a nice big smile, 1, 2, 3, yay!
Yay! Toastmasters, yay! Thank you so much.
right.
I wouldn't want to stay any longer. So Leah, I think you can end the Zoom meeting. I look forward to seeing you all. I mean, end the recording because I prepared a closing, but that'll take too long.